Welcome to Dove and Dragon Radio. I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with a very special guest and talented author, Mario, and I will have you pronounce your last name for me.
Quinones Revolori.
Yes, see, I would butcher that to no ends. But you have the book out, Dead to Me Hollywood. So what led you into writing this book?
What it led me was that I was gaslighted for 6 months by a professional hitman, and eventually he told me he told me many times he was going to kill me, and I didn't believe him. I thought he was just playing around, but eventually in 6 month period in 2016 he poisoned me. Now I spent 17 days in the hospital in a coma, and then I still have problems, with my speech and everything, my hearing, because of that.
Oh my, that when I was looking at this, I was like, I know it's a real story. I just didn't realize it's your real story.
It's my real story. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my. You don't hear, okay. In the world of today, you normally don't hear people that survive hitmen, and you don't hear about hitmen, other than on Snapped or, things like that. So, oh my God.
Yeah.
Now, did they ever figure out why he wanted to kill you?
I never did. I have some kind of like, tips that I can relate, but the real motive, I really don't know. But the thing is that he got caught and he's in jail for life.
Well, that's a good thing he was caught. Obviously, if he wasn't caught, we wouldn't be doing this interview because we would not want to impede on any investigation. But yeah, it's already been litigated, so we can talk about it. And I'm glad that you're here and able to talk about this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, this has happened he's in prison in India.
That's correct.
So this is just a crazy story. I'm at a loss of words, but I'm glad that you're here. Now, hypothetically, did this have anything to do with your relatives' careers? We won't actually say their names because I'm not going to do that, but do you think it had anything to do with their careers that they targeted you instead?
I don't think so. I think honestly, because it was my real brother involved in that. One of my real brothers.
Ah, okay. So, well,
yeah, go ahead.
It was connected to family stuff, but not the family I'm thinking of.
No.
Okay.
Connected to relatives. Yeah, he was relatives.
He was a relative. We will leave it at that. It's just a weird, odd thing. So go through this journey with me. Where did it start, and what was that process like? I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Oh, I really don't know. I have no idea because I've been really, I'm not joking, I'm not kidding around, and I'm not lying. It's the truth and the whole truth. I was a father and a mother for my father, my mother, my brothers and sisters, my sons, and anyone else. I've been a person that always takes care of my relatives, all of them. And I have no idea other than that jealousy and hate, because even my own dad, who his soul rest in peace, he is still was kind of weird to me because he wanted all my brothers and sisters to be like me. He told me so, because one time I asked him, "Why do you guys do that to me? If I'm the person that takes care of you, both financially and legally, because I know a lot of legal stuff." And why? And then my dad answered me. And by the way, my dad is my hero. Don't get me wrong, and people, I don't want to say that my dad was awful. He was the sweetest human being in the world, but still he was defending my relatives, my brothers and sisters. And he told me, because I want them to be like you.
That it's crazy what family does to each other. I mean, we have our family and then we have our relatives. And you said that great. You have the family that you take care of and you respect and you house, and then you have your relatives that you just can't connect with. Exactly. I don't know why it happens that way, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
So
yes,
you have this out. Are you working on something else to go after this?
No, more just the writing in the music thing, because I love music and I love writing. Writing for me is kind of like a habit that you have when you eat the good food that you really taste it yummy and you eat it all the time. That's why this music is, and writing for me.
Well, you said music. So are you getting music out there that you have either written or done yourself?
I have written about 40 songs in my life, and I wrote 10 of them paralyzed, mute, and mental ill when this happened. And that's how I survived. It was a miraculous healing that I went through, and then I just did it because I was praying. Number one, number two, I was exercising all the time, and I ate right, and I put my mind to write music, and I wrote the book. This book itself, I started writing one word a day because I couldn't control my brain, and my depression was deadly. I couldn't move anywhere. I couldn't stand. I couldn't do anything. And then I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it. It's time for me to show and to prove the world. And all my, because even my own mother said that I was gonna die when she saw me in the hospital. And doctors, they never thought that I was gonna survive.
I understand where you're coming from to a T. Back in 2011, I had a medical emergency, and the doctors didn't think I was going to live the year. And they certainly didn't think if I did live, I wasn't going to be walking or talking or doing anything else. You have to persevere yourself and prove them all wrong.
That's what really happened to me.
So you have the inspirational element to this book. It's not just this bad thing happened. It's how you overcame and what you're pushing to move forward with.
Exactly. That's what I did.
And that's why this book is important. It's not the, oh my God, this horrible thing happened, but it's how do we carry on and how do we rebuild ourselves?
Yes, indeed. That's really true.
So you have the music, you have 40 songs you said wrote. Now, is any of those where we can hear them?
Well, I'm in the process because I hired a special girl, because I'm not a singer. I wish I was, but I'm not. And so I'm gonna record them in about 3 months, 3 songs, and I'm just gonna get. But I have other songs that I have produced in the past with a different singer, but she quit on me. But they are on.
Well, we are always welcome to hear the songs, and I am glad that you have some of them out, and you have a new singer that will honor your songs, put them to voice.
Exactly, and then it happens the best singer, the new one, is my own beautiful, smart daughter.
That is even better.
Yes.
It's always good when you can get your relatives, your family, the ones that you're close to do things for you. In my case, my daughter is my editor. I write, she edits. In your case, you write, she sings.
She sings, exactly. Yeah.
So that is wonderful. Now, with this book, are you thinking maybe eventually you would take it to do an episode like of Snap or something like that with it?
Oh yes, indeed. Whatever I can do, because this book it means world to me, because I mean, the way that I went through three assassination plots, I survived from this guy.
That's
And
insane.
that's
I mean,
insane.
Venom and tea. When was the last time we heard of venom and tea? That
never. I never heard it.
I mean, the last time I've heard of venom being used in assassination attempt, I think, was in the 1200 BC.
Yes, and they used apparently they used dart frog skin to poison. And the funny thing is that I boiled it myself, and I went out for 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, he came inside my own house and poured in the pot of tea, the oil and stuff, the fishy stuff. And I came back 15 minutes later, and I saw it, and when I opened the pot, I saw the scales, the skin, and the only fish. And I removed it with my own hand after he had threatened me that he was going to kill me. I didn't realize at that moment
that was what the poison was.
Exactly. And I still told my daughter, look at what he fell into the chicken, into the pot. And I didn't even think that the pot was covered with a lid. It wouldn't be reasonable to think that he fell. It tells you that someone opened it and poured it. But I didn't do that. I poured a cup and I drank it, and then I had this thinking that I wanted more. And I poured the second cup. And I was with my daughter at the computer doing some work, writing, because I always been a writer. Mm-hmm. And then she told me, okay, Daddy, don't drink it. And I didn't even pay attention. I did anyway. Anyways, when I was on the computer writing and I finished the second one, I just went like that. And then I felt my body and my mind. It's the most unthinkable sensation or feeling that I felt in my whole life. And all I told my daughter was, I'm dying. And I mentioned the name of the guy because that guy, what he did is to get to me, he impersonated a famous friend of mine in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry. And I thought he was the one who was threatening me. But I said, why my friend is threatening me?
Right. Yeah, your friends aren't going to threaten you with death. No. Your friends are going to defriend you, but they're not going to threaten you with death, and they're not going to come to your house and poison you.
Exactly. And then I found out who he really was when the FBI arrested him.
That is okay. As an author myself, this is a wonderful book because I can see all the different things that as an author, using an author mind, how all the plots are in there, everything is working as an author. As a human being, knowing this is a true story, I'm at a gasp because you don't hear this stuff, and B, you automatically assume this can't happen. Well, it does happen. We just don't talk about it.
Exactly.
So, yes. I mean, as an author, I'm like, oh, I want to read this book as an author, but then at the same time, it's a true story. So it's mixed feelings for me.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And I'm sure anyone that has read this and they realize this is a true story, you go, how did this happen? Why? Well, we will never know the why, but at the same time, we want to know the why.
Yes, exactly. And I don't even know myself. And many people, and not many people, some people have told me that the book is a fiction itself, being real. It sounds like a fiction. It's impossible to believe that really happened to me. There's two options. There's two things that the reader can think. Either that I'm lying, this guy is lying to his teeth, or a
a work
fiction.
of fiction. And here's the thing, when we write true stories, true crime stories, a lot of times the truth is stranger than anything fictional. How many times have we watched Snapped or watched ID on TV, or watched some of these Hollywood things that actually happened, and you go, that can't happen in real life, but yet it has.
Yes.
You're living proof that it can happen. You can survive it. I'm glad that you did. But at the same time, we're like, no, that can't happen on our society.
Yes, because people sometimes don't believe me, and I'm into telling people, you know, in person when they talk to me, and then we talk about it, and the conversation comes, and then I start to become friendly with strange people, and then they share things, and I start talking about my own relatives, because it wasn't family members, like you say. Family members is that live, the ones that live with you in your household, whether blood related or just strangers, but we are family that care for each other. But they were relatives outside of my household. You know, they say no, it's impossible. They say.
I understand. I mean, I have relatives that, you know, would cause me harm if I let them. I have relatives that you think the impossible of them, but at the same time, it's possible for them to do these things. Yes. And your family, your true family that you live under the same roof, you care for, you respect, you love, they would never do this.
No, they would never.
And a family member doesn't have to be yet that blood relative that you're connected to. It could literally be someone you just met 2 days ago off the street.
Yes. Yes. Some people ask themselves, they have asked me the question, that this guy risked his life, his freedom, in coming all the way from India to kill me on his own. And some people have told me, oh, he picked you out of that screen on the, he saw you and he came to kill myself. Can you imagine? It's possible for a person to spend thousands of dollars to gaslight me, to hit me, and to follow me for 5-6 months on his own, all the way from India, to come every week, spending his own money.
There are people that do this. They put themselves in financial ruin to do harm to someone else. There's something seriously wrong with their brain and their way of thinking, but at the same time, they do this.
Wow.
I don't know why they do this. I can watch anything on ID TV and I go, no, that can't be true. But at the same time, when you have Dateline, when you have Snapped, when you have these crime shows that go behind the scenes of these things that have happened, it's actually true in reality.
Wow.
I mean, this is the first time I've ever interviewed someone that it's happened to, but at the same time, yes, it does happen. I can't tell you why it happens, but yes, it does happen.
I see. Well, I didn't even know that, because people have told me that. A few people, well, the majority of the people that know, and they know that someone paid him to do the job.
There are people that pay to have this done, and that's a scary thing. We'll never know, because he was a professional, why or who. Those are the two biggest questions we can ask as a person, and we'll never have the answers to.
Exactly. That's why I tell people that based on the evidence and the documents that I have gathered, not because I have tried to do it, but because they have come to me you know, by themselves, is that it points to my ex-wife and to my brother. Why? Because my brother came. I hadn't seen my brother for a long time, and the hitman used to talk about them when he was following me and telling me to kneel down and fall on my knees and go ask forgiveness to them, because God himself told him that that was the only way that he was going to spare my life. And then when I was poisoned, literally in the hospital dying, I asked my brother, how do you find out? And he told me that he called himself to come to visit me, and he gave him the hospital where I was in the room number. That's how I found out that they were part of the plot.
Well, eventually the police will figure out all the lines of who did what, because even though they have the actual hitman, there's still probably something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and we won't know about until they take it to court, which I hope they find all the strings that are attached and the truth comes out.
Wow, it's insane. But here's my book.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's there. It's in print. You can find it on Amazon.
Yes, yes.
Now, with this book, your publishing company has done a wonderful job with it. It's a 6x9 platform. It's beautifully written, and it's all there and all truthful. Now it's up to the reader to find that part of their thought process to realize this is a truthful book.
Yes, yes. I spend so much time on this book, because this book I wrote it not with the money thing in mind, but at the same time, yes, because I said if the book makes money, more people are going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
That part is important to me. Even if the money comes somewhere else, it goes with
right.
To the
money's secondary. But when you write a book, you don't write for money. You write the book. You want people to read your words.
Exactly.
I mean, as an author, I can tell you right now, I don't write for the money. I don't write to get rich. I write because I want my words out there. That is the correct way to write a book. If you're writing for a book just for the money, you're doing it wrong.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, really true. Yeah.
But other than Amazon, is there any other place that our listeners and our viewers can find you?
Not really. That's about what I have right now. Amazon, and I don't have a how do you call this a website or anything like that. I haven't done it yet.
Well, hopefully your children will help you do a website for this book, even if it's just a one-page website, just a landing page for your book. I'm hoping your children can help you with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I never thought it was important, but now that you are mentioning and advising me to do it, I'll most definitely do that. Yeah,
at least
the book.
Yeah, your book needs to be advertised properly so we can find you as a reader, so we can connect with you as a person.
All right. So I have a how do you call this, a Facebook page, especially for the book, though, that I created.
That's awesome. We love our Facebook pages, but make sure you have your children help you set up just a basic website for your book. That way our readers and our listeners can connect with you and find out all the detail you can't put in the book. There may be something, pictures or anything else that you can't put in there that on a website you can.
Oh, I see the point. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it as soon as possible. I want to do it. Yeah.
What was so wonderful talking to you, and I'm so blessed that you were able to come to the other side of this whole ordeal.
Yes, and thank you for giving me the opportunity and for having me on your show. It means everything to me, and I'm so happy that this is happening because I'm still alive after all I went through, and I'm still living in this wonderful, beautiful, crazy world that we are experiencing. It goes again.
Experiencing. Yeah. What?
Oh my God. You know, it's still beautiful.
It is still beautiful. We are still here, and we are thankful.
Yes, indeed.
And for all of our viewers and our listeners, happy reading.